with Nate Anderson. We're going to talk to you a little about phase training with the VL harness. When you first start out with it, as well as when you're doing any of your drills, you want to do kind of a before, during, and after. That way you're hitting the motor patterning in many different ways. So we're just going to go through it really quick here. So we're working on back hip into the baseball right here. Whatever focus it is that you're trying to accomplish, do it with all three phases, all right? So go ahead and swing. This would be his normal type of stuff he's got in his mindset, trying to work with his head, not going at the ball, but concentrating on just taking his back hip to it, right? Okay, so you get a few swings. That was a good swing, obviously. The analytics shows it right there. One more time. Let's see if his head stays back and his back hip goes. Decent, right? Analytic dropped a little, okay? And then the next phase is, after you get a few reps, you want to get your motor patterning right, you strap in, and this will give you the sensory feedback. So what it's doing is it's taking my verbiage and putting it into his motor patterning, because anytime he does a incorrect swing or is movement deficient, or he's top heavy, or he prematurely rotates or doesn't connect the heels, those are all human movement-based building blocks. The back foot will be ripped up, which is a negative sensory overload, right? So go ahead and work on the same thing. Back hip into the baseball. Okay? What'd you feel?
I can't feel my
Leg popped up, right? Now, the key here, whenever you're training with the harness, is to go full speed at it. You have an idea of what you want to accomplish, work on that one specific thing, but go full speed at it, okay? There it is, not too bad, right? Now obviously he's dipping his head, that's a different aspect of his swing, but right now, did you feel less on that?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, one more. Try to stay above the baseball, don't dip your head. What did you feel there? Pulling?
A little bit.
Okay, let's get one more good one. Okay? Now, obviously there's about about 3 or 4 different swings in that. All of them probably provided different sensory feedback to you, right? One of them was good. That was a 71 where you didn't feel the harness. A few of the others you probably felt it, right? And so when you're working with the harness, make sure that you pay close attention to that sensory feedback. The bottom line is you want to neutralize the resistance. If you obtain movement efficiency, where you're going at it with your back hip first, staying silent with your head, connecting the heels and rotating, which we all know is what is required to hit or pitch, then you won't feel it, all right? Try to accomplish those 3 things with this swing. So basically the main idea is to go at it with your back hip and keep your head perfectly still. You can't move your head. There you go, 69, right? Now just try to compete with it here and see what happens. No good, 53. Did you feel your back foot pop up, right? And that's the difference right there between regular practice, where you wouldn't actually know what's going on, compared to having sensory feedback, right? And then the last phase is you take it off. Hopefully some motor patterning has been entered into his sensory feedback, and then we'll go from there and see what happens. So in this phase, you just want to compete and go at it. Don't really think too much, because hopefully, again, the motor patterning is built in, right? So go get it. All right, did you feel incorrect on that?
A little bit.
Yeah, right? Felt incorrect, all right? So go back to what feels right when you have that on. There you go, 71 right there, very good. Same thing, stay above the baseball, head back. Okay, no good? Okay, last one here. 66, so. And you're seeing a regression right here, right? Nate hasn't really used this that much, and so what's gonna happen is once you take it off, as you start to swing again, it will drop back down to the normal movement pattern. The idea here is obviously to use it 10 minutes a day, every day. That's much better than once or twice a week for 2 hours, right? Keep the harness on so you're building that movement patterning into you, all right? And then at that point, it'll get to where instead of it being 2 swings where it drops back, maybe it'll be 4, then 10, then 20, and then you go into a maintenance plan.